Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. As always, for the past several weeks, I have gnats trying to suddenly appear out of nowhere as soon as I bring out whiskey. The other thing that I've had for the past several weeks is a co-host that is very demanding. She's she knows she's the star of the show, and so she insists on payment. She's very demanding about this. Here's my co-host, Awesome the dog. Everything is awesome. I do make her come all the way into camera before she gets her payment. I mean, if you're not going to come on camera, you don't get payment. That's just the way it is for, celebrities. No, you got to be on camera. You can't get payment unless you're on camera. That's just the way it is. Starlets, what are you going to do? So, anyways, what we got here is a very interesting it's probably not going to show up on camera, but I don't know, maybe if we get close enough, maybe it starts. Hey, look at that. It kind of sort of shows up on camera. It is Redemption Wheated Bourbon. So some of the things that I find very interesting about this whiskey is, number one, this is a sourced whiskey from MGP of Indiana. Everybody loves to make jokes, but the reality of it is that there's actually some really good product. There's some really horrible grain to glass product out there.
Oh, here it comes. Lots of explaining. There's
some really good MGP product. It's about, can they what do they do after it's distilled? How are they aging it? The aging process. It shows how important the aging process. Now, there are some distillers out there who have just, really honed in their craft all the way from grain to glass and put out an amazing, phenomenal product. And very small distilleries that have figured out how to go grain to glass and put out an amazing, phenomenal product. But there's also some good product that's MGP. So don't let the fact that it's sourced turn you off to it. Now this is something that MGP has recently started doing. And by recently, I mean in the past 4 years. And so this being batch 2, this is pretty close to when MGP first started offering their whiskey cellars. I don't know if you can call it a distiller since they're not distilling it, but their whiskey brands. This mash bill, which is 45% wheat, 51% corn, and 4% malted barley. If you're going to go 4%, I would have went 4% rye. Personally, that's what I would have done. But I don't know. This should be very interesting. It is. It's about 40 to $55, depending upon where you buy it. But my co-host is sleeping on the job. What's up with that? I just paid her too.
Once she's a celebrity, you guys got a story.
So, anyways, this is I really do like. I'm a sucker for a whiskey with lots of wheat in it. I'm very curious about this, but let's find out what this whiskey has to offer on the nose.
Wow, right on the nose!
So, they make a lot of claims, like a lot of whiskeys do, and a lot of whiskey reviewers make a lot of claims as to, all the things that they smell on the nose. I think this one, the majority of it is a bunch of BS. And but I do sense a little bit of ginger, and which usually means some rye, but there's not there. It probably is partly because of the 96 proof, and then I also sense a little bit of vanilla. They also say lavender, which I totally do not sense any lavender. But it's not a real complex aroma, and that's probably because because of the 96 proof. Usually when you get that high in proof, it kind of burns out your nose, and it's real hard to tell anything other than just the most simple aromas. So, but it smells like it's a good bourbon. I mean, it's very very typical for bourbon. And my dog's trying to upstage me. Doesn't take much when she's much cuter than I am. Yeah, I think that I don't know. It's got a good color to it. I kind of like the color on that. As we found with whiskey a few weeks ago, a dark color doesn't mean much. It could mean absolutely nothing. Usually it means something good, but not always. But anyways, Dark Helmet, do your thing.
Ludicrous speed!
That's pretty good. I'm liking this. We've had some grain to glass. This is, as I was saying at the beginning of this episode, we've had some grain to glass whiskeys that just weren't that great. This is an MGP, and so MGP became a joke because they became so popular, and they became so popular because, well, they've kind of figured out a formula. They figured out a system. Then from that formula, each whiskey brand figures out a way to age it in a way that's unique, that sticks out. And I think Redemption has done that with their wheated bourbon. Or it could be that I've never tasted any other whiskeys with that MGP mash bill. But don't worry, viewers. We have dog butt. Oh, wait. I mean, the star is back. Yeah, that's what I meant. But this is, it's got a really good bite. I've heard some people say that it doesn't have a lot of legs. I disagree. It doesn't have the longest bite. The bite doesn't last as long as a lot of other whiskeys I've had. But this is decent. This is solid.
And now my reputation for you is fact, is solid.
I don't know if it's $55 solid. I think if this was a $30 whiskey, I would say rush out and buy a couple bottles. $30, $40, this would be a massive recommend. With it being $55, it's a good buy. It's a good whiskey. I don't think you'll regret it. This is a solid purchase. I like this. This is a good one. I've paid $80, $90 for a bottle of whiskey and had it not be this good. So Redemption, I think I'm going to give them a thumbs up. I think I'm going to say definitely recommend. I think everyone should go out and give it a try. And hey, more proof that even though we love to make jokes about MGP whiskeys, some of them are actually kind of good. Sorry. It's just the way it is. This has got a good solid mouthfeel. It's got a good initial taste, and I like the bite. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this bottle. And yeah, So anyways, see you next week for the blind taste test. Now, all these are different types of whiskey, so if I can't tell those three, I really have issues. But you never know. I mean, these blind taste tests, there's a reason they're blind, and you just don't know how it's going to turn out. So take a look at next week's episode and do a blind taste test. And don't worry, the star of the show will still be here, as she always is, and, you know, refusing to be on camera unless I make payment. Everything is awesome. You saw how, you know, while I was sipping whiskey, she ran off camera because, well, the payments weren't coming. That's just the way these stars are. What are you going to do? You got to pay them. See you next week for another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey with Austin the dog.